Japan. Yes! Let's do it. Game 4. Korea versus Korea, Japan versus Japan. This is what I call Valorant. What's the year? Is it 2021 or 2023? It's hard to tell. Let's do this.
God, tasteless. I can't. It's funny because it's true. Oh my goodness.
Performed on Haven. So far, we've seen Haven twice from Detonation. Once versus Giants over at Lock-In, once versus RQ. Both of those score lines were not favorable to them. It was 13-4 losses in both times played on this map. Granted, very different look now. Soldav is back in, much as he was when they were playing it at Lock-In, but they didn't have Suggest playing on the Killjoy. We got to see him on that Breach, I do believe. For Zeta's sake, it's a win-loss. 1 to RQ, who clearly pretty good when it comes down to Haven, and have been looking much better, week over week. And then a 13-8 victory over Global, who has been, despite not having a win under their belt yet, a very competitive team within the region. So just kind of on paper, you would favor Zeta Division on this map. It's really going to come down to have these adjustments come through from Detonation on Haven to justify the pick.
Well, it's a question that will be answered relatively quickly here as Detonation, of course, they did select this map.
Yeah.
It's Zeta on attack. It's going to be pretty slow.
And Zeta choose attack. So, yes. Within the next hour, I'd say. We'll figure it out. Well, let's see what they decide to do, though, as they're going to spot a little Sova.
Looks like it might just end up being the classic strategy of first round. Go A. For now, just waiting to see if there's any kind of really big overcommitment from Detonation. We're widely happy to just sit back on sites, looking like they anticipate some B presence here, nice and early. But, okay, not A, but C on the opposite side. Turret's there to alert.
Oh.
Got an alarm bot. Oh.
Not C, but A.
Not the C side, it's the A side. I was right the first time.
They're tricking all of us.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Maybe even themselves.
Like I said, 30 seconds left. It's Zeta on the attack.
The only team they're not tricking is DFM. We're just waiting for it, essentially. And now they're going to know that they are on the A site here, but smokes are down. Pretty standard stuff so far up in the towers. Rada is looking to just rain down arrows as pushing into the smoke. They got a couple of them already as they just line up for the rest of them. Takade has to, but he will not be able to reload. And that is a pistol round, very clean to start us off from Zeta.
All right, well, so far that's 3-0 in pistols. Zeta have been very, very clean in that regard. Did see them drop the anti-eco in that second half of Ascent, which is what really allowed DFM to get the ball rolling to find their way back in. But this time, it's not going to be a force buy from Detonation. So we'll see what they end up putting together, but nice step. I mean, barely even see Suggest right at the beginning when he initially finds that first headshot. Unfortunate for Crow, but at the end, they still have enough coverage, plenty of people still alive to be able to go ahead and close that one out. Similar fault line from Anthem to begin the round. So to clear the dart here. And again, Zeta just pumping the brakes.
Yeah, just taking a little break themselves. You know, we did have a break in between the maps, but these teams, they say, well, it's been a while since we've been on the attack, say Zeta, so let's take it easy here for these first couple of rounds. I hope you get to see some kind of mix-up. You were talking about this in the first map where you slow it down and then all of a sudden you pull out a couple of rushes onto C or something, because their entries, their set plays have been really clean, and I've really enjoyed watching them on the attack as well, so I want to see more of that swiftly.
Again, though, they are pretty heavily invested into this. I mean, you can see some of these, cash values quite low. Let's see how cleanly they can get away with this one, if they can get away with it at all. Turret, not going to be able to see anything. Set up in a garage, smoke comes across, cutting off that backside access as well. That from his perch can just barely actually see over this. But the really nicely timed blind comes in, but still snaps on. Shuts down the entry from Soldam, and Depp will just clean up 3 so swiftly. The only member lost now, Sugar 0. And widely, all the firepower gonna be saved.
Yeah, most of it here, so that's a really good start here for the side of Zeta Division. And yeah, really loved, obviously, Dep's flicks, but Sugar Zero just holding the corner. He ends up being the extra distraction after getting those first couple of kills to allow Dep to essentially clean up from there. So, good stuff. Let's see if Detonation can put a stop to this a little bit earlier on this time on Haven. Smokes are down. They're already into sewer very quickly. This is what we were talking about. Zeta are not wasting time, as maybe reading this in the smoke is the Jet. Not too surprising. So Jet's going to open up with the first kill, but up on top, they're not able to clear it. But Reyna able to pick up 2. Oh, Laz with the Bulldog, okay.
And suddenly it's a 1v1. Soldom still rotating. Obviously, Laz unaware of
Laz is part of Zeta, and as we know, they like to take their time. So he will as well. He should know that he's down on firepower, so just going to yeah, I mean, it's very well calculated. He's definitely got enough time to plant this.
Spike planted.
But can he get into a post-plant situation, or position, I should say? He's got both shock darts. Soldom, swing right into him. Ooh. Takes him solo.
Baits out a shock dart.
He's not going to be ready for the swing. Yes, he is. Laz with 3 in the round. Man, what a knife's edge play from him.
If you were confused about who the MVP so far has been, well, he's continuing to lock them down. As picks up 2, he's got a Bulldog, upgrades, incredible flick right there at the end. As he sees real, as okay, gonna be throwing in a bunch of aggressive ult usage, and now it actually ends up working for them. Soldom is out here with the rest of the team. He's pushing out of A, but this angle from Tenny gets 2.
Still, you take that, at least to even up the numbers. The plant comes down now on the C site. You have to know that this rotate is coming in from behind. A smoke isn't available, so Sugar Zero's just going to have to get tucked away in the meantime. Or they're just going to Rolling Thunder this. Scout anybody out, though.
Just floating in.
I mean, what in the hell is Dep doing? He gets a kill. Just the boldness of the man is what's striking me here. Backside Anthem, a couple shots across onto 10, but hit by the kill. Sugar Zero might die? No. Dart went a little bit wide.
So do you think Soldom holds on to his operator this time?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Maybe he can get like a little bit aggressive, try to like catch him off.
I mean, they're trying to go for this full rifle. That's a great opening kill from Soldom, and it might be able to lead to a round win. But util is a bit lacking. I don't believe Anthem's used one of his flashes, but I think that he was had to buy down to 50 just to get this Vandal. Doesn't have armor, only has 1 flashpoint here, which he needs to be pretty selective about when he's going to use this.
All right, gonna wait a little bit. Send this down as the push comes in, as nobody is peeking just yet.
Great read. Just knows exactly where that dart's going to end up. Soldom taken out. Laz finds a second. Answering fire, though. Leaves Crow all on his lonesome. And he might just be able to do it. One more. Takajay tagged low. 8 bullets. Can't make it happen. Takajay just...
As meanwhile, well, they definitely know he's here now, as he's just gonna push through and just shorty him in the face, picks up another.
More of this, please. That's what we want to see from Soldom. A quick 3K play, the shutdown and the lockdown, and suddenly Dep and Crow stranded in the site. Here's a drone coming.
He is not.
Crow. He's got a Rolling Thunder and an Aftershock. He can buy an immense amount of time. He goes across. He gets fault line. He is going to be stunned up, and they're back onto the spike. They can at least hold this to half.
He's not able to get that hit, just holding it, just sticking it, and Suggest will be able to stop this from exploding. So,
realistically, not in a bad spot at all here for Detonation. Flash out to try to slow any entry onto B, and that's also going to be Takajay now smoking that area off from Garage. As it looks like, once again, Zeta, they want to end up on this site, and this smoke should be fairly revealing for them. Reyna, does he just spray this? Paranoia, it's good, but it's just purchases. No one opting for the pistol, so we're not seeing, you know, FPX-style buys here. As Zeta have gambled fairly correctly. Drone not going to be revealing too much. Eventually does get a dart out, and they're going to be forced back. There's time to rotate.
Shots looking good for TFM. 10 gets 1, but at the end of the day, Not able to do too much with these frenzies. This last somehow able to take him out. Guns ablaze in there.
Not hitting anyone. Oh, Deb stays in just for one. After shocks across the box just to try to stop anybody from pushing through. Laz eventually going to fall. Deb good for one. Dashes over towards short and even gets Takache for his trouble.
And it's basically been only him. I mean, he has 3 kills. There's another. Make it 4.
If he transferred to that ace, that would have been the next
one. Make things more interesting, but even 2v3 from this position, DFM pretty nice. They have a free A site at this point.
They do, and this plan is going to give Anthem the Rolling Thunder. So if they really feel pressured for the rest of this round, they can go ahead and burn it. And I think, given the situation of the scoreline, you kind of need to. The tap on the plant to see if they can fade anything. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and situate it. And this is an unorthodox plant spot.
Soldom trying to open up some space, but 10 is right there, puts an end to their dreams.
And Takache just TPs into the back and ends up getting cut down. This is not the window play, the window rush play I was expecting to see in this game map. But Zeta, Soldom looking to rush in. Cloudburst keeping him obscured for a while, but as he swings out of it, oh, it's into the meat grinder.
Oh boy. That's not the way you want to end this map, but it will be fantastic for
No
Zeta. As
shot.
Zeta picks up the 3K just to put the end to their misery. Zeta will pick up the 2-0 tonight as they defeat their Japanese brothers on the other side. And they make it look easy. Very strong stuff from Zeta Division tonight.
That it is, and I mean, this is what you want to see. Grant, again, things to be worked on with the Ascent, allowing Detonation to get themselves back into the game in such a major way and streak together quite a many few rounds.